I began working with Rhonda Ryder with a problem that I've had all my life. I have had this fear of dogs. I'm even embarrassed to talk about it. I've struggled with this for so long. I never really knew how to handle it. It has been so debilitating all of my life. It's to the point where I couldn't go into people's houses without humbly asking them to put the dogs away. I feared that my children that I raised would also have this fear of animals that I've struggled with all of my life. But once I met Rhonda and I became aware of this particular practice, this particular skill she has, where she can work with someone utilizing what she calls the Evoke method and help them face the fears that they are experiencing. And her process for doing this, it's marvelous. What she does is she helps you emotionally tie in to these fears that you may have. I tend to be an analytical person, and I tend to analyze why I have this fear and what I can do to overcome it. Nothing has helped. Rhonda showed me how to get in touch with my emotions. She was able to show me how I could look at that fear, even separate from my body, separate from my mind, and just analyze it as though it's a being all of itself. And once I was able to see it separate from myself, I was able to look at it much more objectively, acknowledge it, accept it, forgive myself, and then move beyond it. It has been a wonderful experience. We had multiple sessions, and even after the first session, I can see a huge difference. For instance, one of the things that I truly enjoy doing, I'm new at it, but I love to hike. I'm new at this, but what I experienced when I would go on hikes is that there would be other hikers who had their dogs. And for a moment, that almost stopped me dead in my tracks from participating in these hikes. There were the people that would hike with their dogs and no leashes. I thought, there is no way I could do this. But after having a few sessions with Rhonda, utilizing the Evoke method, learning to feel that fear and get comfortable with that fear and know that that fear is totally normal, I was able to allow that fear to just pass through my body. And the result was that I was able to enjoy the hike, even with the presence of dogs. And I'm still working on that process. We've had several other Evoke methods, but slowly and surely, I can see where I'm growing to allow this fear and allow it to be present and allow it to pass on like a leaf in the river. And I thank Rhonda and her Evoke method for helping me get in touch with this emotion and finally address this long time debilitating fear so I can be a normal person again. And I thank Rhonda. I highly recommend utilizing Rhonda and her Evoke method for addressing any fear, any life obstacle that you may have. It's very effective, and I am so thankful.